So guys, something a little bit controversial. Chicken strips on your motorbike tyres. What's your thoughts on them? So, I know that when I first started riding, chicken strips used to be a massive thing. And I still like take piss a little bit sometimes today with my friends and stuff like that. But I've got fluff in my mouth. What's your thoughts on chicken strips? Like, I think if you know about riding, when you know what chicken strips are, it's basically on your tyre, on the edge of a tyre, you have obviously how far your lean angle is, and the thing is you can ride a bike and go around the corners, some very good corners, and still have chicken strips quite wide, or you can have no chicken strips whatsoever. I know there's always that stigma, there's always that, it's not even like, it's never been a serious thing, it's always like a bit of banter between your friends and stuff like that, but it's like, oh, you got chicken strips, you're not leaning over enough. And it's usually with sports bike riders who can get the knee down and stuff like that, and they say, oh buddy, you're not leaning enough. But if you go around corners properly, you don't have to get your knee down all the time. And that's coming from someone who used to get my knee down on sports bikes. And if I wanted to get my knee down on this, I could get my knee down on this. But I'll be honest with you, I'd have to be leaning my ass off of the bike and going down, and so what, you do that anyway, you go down to the side. But yeah, chicken strips, what do you think of them? Do you think it's a rite of passage? And to be fair, I think it is, like, a little bit. To me, like I said, it's a bit of banter between bikers and stuff like that. You like look at people's tyre and you go, oh, you got chicken strips, you're not leaning enough. And I'll be honest with you, I've always looked at my own wheels and thought, oh god, yeah, I'm not actually leaning enough here. Like, there's a load of gap there. To the point where on these tyres, because the newer tyres, there's like a green line, and there were 2 green lines on the back. And my aim was to get rid of the first green line. Like I weren't leaning enough until that green line had gone, and now the green line's completely gone. There's one more which is further on, and if I'm leaning that far to get that off, when bloody hell the bike's on its floor. Especially on these type of tyres. But I mean, for me, I think it's kind of like a confidence thing actually as well. Like, if you, obviously you've got to be careful if you're leaning over, you've got to make sure you've got enough grip and you've got enough speed to be able to lean over. And obviously if you're wanting to obviously counter steer, which is pushing on the sides when you're going around the corners, which to be fair, I'll counter steer on here. I can guarantee I'll go around this corner now and I will scrape my toes on the floor going around. So I'm going around here now, going around, leaning over. Yep, my feet are on the floor, my side of my boots are on the floor, to the point where I'm pretty much scraping my peg. So I know that I'm leaning over, I know what the lean angle is really, and I don't think you'd understand that unless you knew about chicken strips, and unless you got the confidence to try and lean over a bit more to try and get rid of the chicken strips. And I think, if anything, I think me, through the years of wanting to get rid of the chicken strips, has made me a better rider, because it kind of makes you want to have a bit more confidence in your bike. Like, you start leaning over a bit more, and you're like, oh, there's still that bit of tyre that I've not got it rubbed off yet. So you try and lean a bit more, and then as you keep leaning more and more, you then realise, oh well, actually my tyres can handle that. You realise your tyres can handle that lean, you realise your bike can handle that lean, and you start getting a bit more confident going around corners, and you know you can go with a bit more speed and a bit more commitment on corners. So to me, I'll be honest with you, trying to get rid of my chicken strips has always been a bit of a positive for me. Like, I know, obviously, like I said, there's always a banter behind it. There's always people which say, like, well, you're not a good enough driver, you're not a good enough rider if you have chicken strips. And like I said, there's people that ride around, there's people that ride and go around some corners fast, and they still have chicken strips. And I think it also depends on the type of tyre you have as well, so how far you can lean over. Let me know your thoughts on the chicken strips, guys. Do you think it's a rite of passage to get rid of your chicken strips? I kind of do believe it is. Like, and that's coming from someone who's on a 125, but I've rode bikes for years. Like I said, I've rode Aprilia RS 125s, and I've had my knee down on them. I've rode the WR 125X, and if you look back at old videos, I was leaning over to the point where my knee was very, very close to hitting the floor on a supermoto. So yeah, I think it's a rite of passage, me. I think it helps you. I don't think it hinders you. I know obviously people take the piss sometimes, but it's just banter. I think you trying to get rid of your chicken strips on your tyre, it makes you a better rider because you're getting more used to your bike. You know your lean angle. You're getting to know your tyres more. You're getting to know what your bike is capable of. And also, I think it gives you the ability to, when you're going out on the road and there's a tight corner coming up, because you've obviously learned to lean over more, it gives you a bit more confidence, and you're like, yeah, I can get around this corner, I can get a bit of speed behind me, I know I'm going to be able to get around this corner, I know that I'm not going to have target fixation, like this. Nice lean over, changing gears, I'm going around corners, and that is purely because I've done the stuff, I've done the thing of trying to get rid of my chicken strips. I know what this bike is capable of, especially on this bike, because the scrambler tyres, you see from the front, you can't really see them, but the scrambler tyres on this, they're not smooth normal road tyres. And this is the first bike I've really had with this, where I've gone to lean over, and I didn't know what the tyres were capable of. But because I'm obviously trying to get rid of them lines, I know what the bike's capable of, I know what the cornering's like about it, the movability of it. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Do you think chicken strips are a rite of passage? Do you think if you've got chicken strips you're not as good a rider? Let me know, guys. Till next time, peace.